One thing that just popped to my head was an interview I did with Jaden Lang, which is a real good content creator in Australia. And he said, if you wanted to do something, you should have started yesterday. And that rung in my head when she asked that question to me. And it's so true, man, because if you're not doing it yesterday or the day before, then what makes you think you're going to do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know, just start right now in this very moment of pursuing the things that you want to pursue in life and just get shit done.
This podcast is proudly supported by the Ōtara Network Action Committee, ōNAC, community-owned, community-driven, and community-led.
Welcome everyone to the We Are Ōtara Podcast, sponsored by ōNAC. ōNAC, community-owned, community-led, community-driven. See, I learned that from our good friend Chairman Jane, and we are excited to have her in the team. So she supports us. Now, today is an amazing day for me. I feel like we're having an old connection reconnected, if that makes sense, you know. So, without further ado, Josiah, right? Or
yes.
Saya, yeah?
Josiah, but on social media, JP. So, yeah, thanks for having me on, bro.
No, awesome. We knew each other since primary,
Yep,
yeah?
primary. I think we went to the same intermediate as well,
Clover
but
Park?
got split in different areas.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
in high school as well.
Yeah, that's right. What class were you in high school, if you remember?
Bro, no idea.
I have a memory. So I was with Miss Moe, and then I went from Miss Moe to Mr. Erickson, and then
Mr. Erickson. Yeah, I remember Mr. Erickson.
Mr. Russell as well, and then I had
11 IU, eh?
yeah,
that was
right.
it. Yeah.
The one that got kicked out, if you remembered. Yeah.
out?
Yeah. So
What?
yo, so remember the funnies, like the marae classes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got kicked out from that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, guys weren't taking your shoes off.
No, worse, bro. Worse. We were sitting on the tables.
Oh, well. Hey, that's
so-
Tapu, my brother. Tapu, bro.
Miss Hemi came and kicked us out.
Oh, okay, yeah. Good old Miss Hemi. Shout out Miss Hemi.
Shout out to Miss Hemi. She's a really good guitar player too.
She is.
Yeah,
She was my
man.
music teacher as well, I think, for... Oh, our music teacher.
Yeah,
Year
she
9,
was.
Year 9.
Yeah, that's right. Damn. So, before we get into like memory lane and whatnot, you want to explain? You want to give us a brief introduction about yourself and what you go throughout your daily life. What you're doing.
Cool. So, like I said before, my name is JP. I'm 33 years of age. Still young, still living, still going hard. I'm married, 2 kids.
Hey.
Born and raised in Ōtara, but now residing out in Flatbush, Ormiston.
Hey.
You know, so I still work the 9 to 5, but I'm also a content creator for various companies, contracted to them, and also running my own channel called Word on the Street. So that's just a little bit about myself.
Love it, man. Love it. I knew you were a musician guy, along with, like, if you remember you remember our good friend Sione Faletau?
Sione Faletau, yep.
You know, the mad drummer, man.
Yeah, I got him on one of my projects. This is when I was in theatre.
Oh, shit.
And we needed a drummer for our theatre show. So I hit him up and we reconnected then. And then I always see him every now and again at Pack and Save, our local Pack and Save.
Hey.
So, yeah, shout out to Sione. Let's go.
So you were saying that you're a theatre kid. You want to explain further about that? That's something that normally our brothers and sisters don't really get into. That rarely, you know, if you remember that down the road, we used to have a performance centre there. So what got you into theatre, if you don't mind?
So theatre was just another avenue of performing arts. Because back in high school, I used to be like a dancer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I used to run the
yeah.
Bring It On. I used to run dance battles at lunchtime. Like that was, Crump. When Crump was really taking off back in the day, maybe 2005, 2006. So that's where everything started in terms of being creative, eh?
Yeah.
So started dancing, ended up going to entering a dance crew called Prestige Dance Crew. So they're one of the pioneers within New Zealand hip hop dancing.
Nice.
So I ended dancing with them for a couple of years, and then I kind of changed direction in terms of what I wanted to do. So I went to theatre.
Hey.
Yeah, and I got into theatre, did some workshops with a massive theatre company, and then got into Duffy Box. Was the lead actor for Duffy Box.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a trip because we always used to watch Duffy in primary.
That's right. We used to get the books.
Yeah, used to be excited
Duffy.
when the theatre team comes in and does a show or does a play. Yeah. So I was the lead for that, and I think what got me into theatre was just always being curious of how I could create. So I did dance, I did theatre, Then now here I am in content creating.
Nice. I remember the afternoon. I can see you and a group of friends out in high school doing the dance battles and whatnot.
Yeah.
You remember rest in peace, my good friend Hazen.
Hazen, yeah. Rest in peace, Hazen. I remember Hazen.
Yeah, I remember you two used to be like very close in terms of dancing because you both of you were dancers.
Yeah,
right?
I remember he could backflip. That's why I was like, Hazen, man, he's always one up on me because he could backflip.
Yeah, no, I remember that. And but you both shared the love of dancing, and that was a beautiful thing.
For sure.
Did you ever join Riley's, Mr. Riley, shout out to David Riley. We had him as a guest. Did you ever do his rep class?
Rep class? No, I didn't. Oh, but speaking of Riley, he was one of the first people that actually saw some potential in me in terms of performing.
Yeah.
Because we used to do like English and stuff, and we used to do like drama or like reenactments of certain things when we do it for assessment.
Did you do his assessment for like doing a play?
Yeah. That was the one. And then he came up to me and was like, "Have you ever considered joining like an actual theater company?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm not too sure. I don't know what theater is." So I went to dance, and then once I went into theater, I was in that theater space, and it was the exact same one that he referred to me in high school. So it's kind of like a full circle moment, eh?
No, absolutely. Again, David Riley's one of the great teachers who, he will take you and shape you into what you needed to be, and he saw potential. And I had fun doing that assessment, right? You had your classmates. I was like group of 5.
Yeah.
And then you had to do like a play that you made up for like...
That's it.
5 minutes, right? 5 minutes. Nice. I got a merit out of that. I just want
really?
I just want to flex out there.
Yeah, congrats, bro.
Thank you. It was based on, if I remember correctly, it was just randomness about the... do you know the back in the days with those ads about the drink and drive stuff?
Yeah, drink and drive.
Yeah. So we had to do that as our prompt, and we did a skit like that for Don't Drink and Drive, but we added our own
flair
into it. So with that said, you go through a theatre company. What did you do before that stuff? Before even thinking about entertainment, what did you do after high school?
After high school, it was a bit of searching for me, because a lot of people were off to uni. A lot of our friends were off to uni. A lot of our friends, started families at a young age. Left school. So I was kind of like searching in terms of what I wanted to do, and I became a father at a real young age when I was 13.
Damn.
So instead of doing maths, I was heading home to do like physical exams, if you know what I mean. So that became a father at a young age, and I didn't know what to do. Joined the foundation police course at MIT. Obviously that didn't work out because I'm not a policeman. Never have been a policeman. And then jumped on the benefit and just did all sorts of random work.
Odd job.
Just to get some money for the family.
Yeah.
And then hanging around the right people and always having that I need to create in the back of my head. It led me to this moment where, we're doing some great things now.
Nice.
The things that I'm doing now, it's probably the best thing that I've ever done in terms of committing to something full-heartedly and seeing some great results. Some people get into things like, oh, I want to do that. And then once they're in it, they're like, oh, actually, I want to go do this. Yeah. So I haven't had that once since being in the space of content creating.
Yeah, no, and that's the difficulty with I feel like with most of our youth of today, and it was different for us when we were growing up. We were just basically naive, and it's the same. But when we look at our young ones now, they have the technology to do these sort of things, but they don't know when to sort of split off to do it because they sort of just stuck in that one spot going, I'm here, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where to run with. So. It's good to have someone like yourself who, you're influencing those to create and whatnot. And we need that sort of influence out there because we didn't technically I feel like I didn't technically have anyone out there that does that sort of thing.
Yep.
The only things we had were rugby players,
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So we went from the past going into the future. You want to explain what got you into that mindset of I want to start creating videos. I want to start creating content. What got you to have that first step into content creating?
Yeah, I think initially, bro, I've always wanted to be being famous online was like the main goal for me, probably like 10 years ago. And I thought it would be like through comedy or like doing skits online, like the classic Ōsgang vids and the Terrell Tuffer vids. That was what I like doing and I like creating. But along the way, you know, I started to join particular fields on the online space to start creating money within digital marketing, affiliate marketing, and all that kind of stuff. And that piqued the interest of like, how do people make money in a recession and where things are too expensive and people are just complaining about, we need things to go up in terms of how we get paid within New Zealand. So I was just like, I want to go buy a microphone and I want to know how people are making money on the street. So once I committed to that, the most scariest thing in the world, by the way, starting something brand new that no one's done in New Zealand. And then once I done that, man, there was this great feeling of achievement and fulfillment, and like, man, I first time I've ever felt like intentional about doing something. And then I put that online, bro, and things just took off.
It blew up, right?
Amazing response, and people were just like, how dare you ask people about how much money they make? This is New Zealand. And then I was like, bro, I'm doing everyone a favor. I'm giving people insights into different work fields and the potential income that you can make. So you can make a decision on, okay, that sounds great. I've always wanted to do this. I'm going to look into it a bit more. And that's what my content provides once I first started. And then, that kind of just set the flaming ball for me to keep rolling and pick up the momentum even further.
And that's a beautiful insight to have a look. And when I looked at your content, is that you normally don't have a window into the average life of an average Kiwi. That has always been private. That's always been behind closed doors, and people who are running, like, for again, the government, they don't really know what's the inside of people. And if people are willing to go, hey, I earn X amount of money, but this is my house, this is where I currently live, but my goal is to get out of this house, or this is my goal to do this, you are providing a content there's a bit like a giant hole in for a while. And like you said, you mentioned that skits are like one of the big things, like Ōsgang and whatnot, and you have that hole filled in, but we don't have a hole into the honest content that I like to call it. It is definitely honest, and it's beautiful to see it filled in, because that means that we're getting real content from people who are living the lives that they portray. And it's awesome that it's coming from an honest person like yourself, It's like, bro, I want to see this, So, you live like this. Okay, cool. Oh, how much do you own and whatnot? So,
Awesome, bro.
No, absolutely. So, with that said, I want to get into one of the bigger questions. Who is the biggest content creator that you've collabed so far?
It's definitely far out. That's a hard question, because the content creators and people that I've collabed with, they're big within their own right, own, and even within their own industry.
No, absolutely.
So I think the very first person that I collabed with that was a big name was Don Ha, which is the CEO of real estate.
Yeah, that's right.
Remax NZ. So he's the CEO, and he was walking down the street, had no idea who he was, asked for an interview, he gave the interview. That popped off on the internet, and then his team reached out and said, hey, we would like to do more work with you. You want to do like a actual interview or podcast? Hey. And then finding out that he was from Ōtara, went to Hillary College. So he was the first big person that took interest into me. But in terms of content creating, by far, it's definitely Ōsgang that we've created content together. So yeah, it's a journey, and big shout outs to Ōs, because he's doing some amazing things. Just had 1 million followers on Instagram.
Hey.
So shout outs to the Uso. But yeah, it's great to have people like him to look up to know where the benchmark is.
No, absolutely. And I want to go back to that big first one, because that's telling of how someone's story starts. You didn't know who the person was, and that's amazing. You just went up to them, and And that's what I think that a lot of us, as in people who are wanting it as a content creating, get stuck in, is that first step of going, okay, I want to get into it, but when they take that first step, they go,
yeah, for sure.
But you took that first step and then you started running afterwards, and that was cool to hear that you got Don Ha.
Yeah.
Out of all people, you just you don't get that one in a million moment, right? It's just weird.
And people are still coming up to me asking me like, "Oh, how's Don Ha?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean? Like, oh, you're working with Don Ha?" Like, nah, that was the interview I did with them.
Oh my god!
Then we did another project, but I'm not affiliated like insiders.
In the circles and whatnot.
Yeah, so I was like, it just blows my mind there.
No, absolutely. Besides Don Ha, who and ŌNAC, who else have you collaborated with?
A lot of different like property developers in the real estate game. The owner of Duval Clubs.
Sure.
Pat Lapalapa from Ray White. He's a real top tier Polynesian real estate agent. So I did some work with him.
Yeah.
I managed to pick up a management team through the stuff that I do as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so which is cool, looking after me and ŌNAC, which is a great opportunity. And then also just connecting with a lot of local businesses, and really giving them a platform to show what they're up to and how they're impacting the community. So I think overall it's been so many people, but a great experience nevertheless.
No, that's awesome. It's cool to see that you're not only going for the big fruit above the tree, you're going for the ones that are, trying to grow, but they don't have enough shade or care, like the smaller businesses.
Yeah.
We went through the recession. We've seen like companies and small businesses not make it through those, the initial starts, and it's good to see someone like yourself who goes, "Hey man, look, we can do this," and you go, "Yeah, cool, we can." And the best thing about it is that the prediction of it, if it grows, it grows, and it's amazing to see when it does, flourish into something great. And again, I'm singing your praises because I can, because it's awesome to see. So that's cool.
Cool, man. What else has been happening? Then also through my content as well, I managed to pick up a social media role with Matai Watches.
Yeah.
So Matai Watches. Have you heard of Matai Watches?
Yeah.
So Matai Watches, for those who don't know, is pretty much like the Rolex of the Pacific culture within the Southern Hemisphere.
That's right. Yeah.
And we provide great watches, collab with some amazing people, sports stars, local community influencers, and all that kind of stuff. And we really produce good content and give out great quality watches as well. So, if you don't have a watch, go get a watch, man. Matai.com.au, let's go.
Since you're on my podcast.
Oh, shucks, you should have messaged me too.
Fair enough. No, I want to be humble. I'll buy it from the store. Don't worry about
my
it.
man, you support your local, brother.
So, with that said, we went through like quite a bit of a journey in terms of this conversation. We went from briefly going through like the past and whatnot, and again, transparency. We're both friends from high school from primary to high school, and now just listening to an amazing story from your content creations and whatnot. So let's just say that you haven't met me, and you're on my podcast, and this is my first interview. What advice could you give someone who are starting from that content creation, and how I can get out from that first step? What piece of advice could you give me?
Yeah, I think the best way to go about committing to something is to work on yourself. Work on the thing that drives your body, which is this up here. Yeah. I think once you can start to mold your mind into a mindset that can be like, if I'm not going to do it, no one else is going to do it. And if you got so much to gain, but also so much to lose in the process if you don't action something, that should be enough to get you up, off your seat and really to start doing shit with your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And a lot of people look in the mirror and they're not happy with the person that stares back at them, right? And I've had that so many times every time I look into the mirror. But it's all about working on yourself and figuring out where those particular things lie in terms of why you feel like that. Hey, is it because the way that you look? Well, cool. Let's start on changing the the healthy habits and looking at drinking more water instead of diet, instead of fizzy drinks and all that kind of stuff, and also just being around people that love you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to love yourself.
No,
it's hard to love myself sometimes. I'm just being honest, man.
No,
Lucky, man, my wife, the greatest support system, man, always tells me every day on why I should be loved and why I should love myself, and that's what gets me going.
Gorgeous.
You know, so
yeah.
No,
it's you know, you hit the nail on the head, and I have my days as well where I just completely stare at myself and go, man, fuck, I'm.
It's a shit feeling. Oh, sorry for
No, sure. You're fine.
It's a shit feeling.
No, you just heard me say fuck.
Oh,
Fine. No,
it definitely is.
It's a shit feeling, but then I remind myself that I got Dan, I got Judy, I got Will Fleming. You know, they're just like a text away, and I go, hey, look, I feel terrible, and then Dan will send me a text going, so just do meditation 3 minutes. There he is. See, I picked up his voice. But it's always key to have that support group, and as well as having that mental image as physical image of yourself. Do you like yourself at the current state? You know, going back to the brother Usgang doing his 100-day journey with weight loss.
Yeah.
You know, I saw that story, and like, yeah, he had his. That's what makes content human, is that there are not always good stories. There's always days where they're like, oh fuck, I failed.
Yeah.
I could record this because that literally means that I'm still human and I'm still going through this journey.
And that is sometimes enough to inspire people to get out.
Absolutely.
You know, like people thriving, but also people struggling through the process. See, and people gravitate towards that too. So, yeah, man, it's been a journey for sure. And bro, I know we've talked about Us quite a bit on this podcast, but he's definitely a pure example of changing the way he is. And obviously, if you're in good shape, obviously I'm not in good shape, but we're all getting there.
Yeah.
But when you're on the journey towards that, obviously you're gonna do things like, oh, I want to do this now. I want to do this. I want to do this, and it just builds this whole momentum within yourself to get shit done. Eh?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm currently trying to lose some buff at the moment, so I can some buff to
Some
go
gone
to-
buff.
See, you know, I got some mutton chops on the side, you know, but I'm trying to lose that. So because next year I'm going to go to Japan.
Oh, you're off to Japan.
I'm off to Japan.
Up to what are you up to over there?
I just want to do all the big walks, like go up to Mount Fuji.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to go this year, but then I realized, look, bro, you're physically not there, brother.
Yeah.
So you need to reevaluate. So I was like, push it to next year. You know, you got the money for the flights. Push it to next year. You're going to need that physicality, because people have told you're going to be doing a lot of walking.
Yeah.
So get into
So just conditioning your body and making
absolutely.
better choices.
Yeah.
Good on you, bro. Good on you.
Yeah, man. And just listening to you and going through your journey and just having that support group is key. And I want to remind people, reach out. Legit, just reach out, because if you don't, you're stuck in your own mindset.
100%.
Your own chamber and whatnot. But with that said, we're coming up to our very last few minutes, last of the innings. What is it that JP Josiah wants to do in the near future? So let's pretend like your kids are watching it, your wife is watching.
Yeah.
What is the future envisioned from you, and what does it look like for those who are listening?
I think from a business perspective is to grow the channel on social media, Word on the Street Official, to turn it into a marketing company that we're able to provide jobs for other creatives, whether if it's something like this, podcasters, audio engineers, videographers, photographers, and have that all under one hub of Word on the Street, where we can secure big enough international contracts where we can give work to all these creatives.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's the business overall business perspective, and I feel using social media and where I am right now with the right management team that we can definitely pull that off.
Yeah.
In terms of what I want to do in life is just to continue to impact a lot of people, and always remember to put service at the forefront of everything I do. Hey. Because sometimes I get off track and I'm like, oh, chasing the money. I need to find the next contract, because I got a family to feed. I got bills to pay.
That's right.
But I think putting service at the forefront, and I've always been taught that, is when you do that, people just, the byproduct of that is people gravitating towards you.
Yeah.
And people wanting your service because you put them first.
No,
And
absolutely.
So that's what I want to do for my business and for myself in life. And also so I can teach my kids how to survive in this really obscured world, you know?
It's changing.
Because it's a crazy world out there. And I think the biggest disservice I can do to my kids is not equip them, to not equip them the best that I can before I leave.
No, absolutely. And I may be single, but I have like nieces and nephews. I see them as my kids. I want to leave a legacy behind. Not only that I impacted them like physically, like I can do all the physical stuff, like be there for their stuff and be there for whatnot, but mentally like prepare them, go, hey, look, you're going to be an adult in the next, 10 plus years now. But when you grow up, don't forget that uncle's still behind you. I want to keep pushing you, but you got to take those steps on your own. But that doesn't mean that you're going to do it alone. There are many people behind you. And I just hearing that from you is like, man, that's in school. You're going, shucks. I better find a wife soon.
Nice, man. But it's great to reconnect with you also. For those who don't know, man, like I don't know if he said it in the podcast, but me and this guy go way back since primary school, obviously. And this guy was different, bro. In primary, he was hella different. He was kind of like in his own lane, you know?
Yeah.
This guy used to bring a newspaper to primary school.
Yeah.
Current affairs. And I was like, I'm 10 or 9 or whatever, and this guy's the same age, and he's bringing a whole newspaper, the New Zealand Herald, to school so he can update everyone on the events that's happening around the world. So that was the moment I knew this guy is different. And it's great to reconnect with him to see what he's up to now. And yeah, man, thank you so much.
No, absolutely. And I've forgotten about me bringing him a whole bunch of newspapers. Holy crap. I brought the newspapers because, just let you know why. It's because when I was little, I would watch. So I'm a TV baby, so I was growing up to the television, but the news was on. So because I can't avoid it, because if you talk to a Samoan parent and they want to watch the news, you don't get a decision.
Yep.
So you don't get to decide. So I watched the news and I was interested, and like from then onwards, it's like, it's like my sister goes, hey, you can read that on newspaper. So I'll save $2 and I'll go grab me a newspaper from the dairy next to Piaka Street. So I'll grab one and I'll read it because it was so interesting. And as a kid, I was the earliest introvert. So I was like, oh yeah, bro, let's just read newspapers. So you brought up a memory that I haven't thought of in a very long time, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I remember you had long hair and you were like, all the kids would come up to you and play bottle tops and marbles, if you remember that.
Yeah. I think that's where my ambition for like chasing money started, man. 'Cause I remember in primary G, I was a gambler. Like I can talk about it now because it was many years ago, but like year 6, we were making money.
Yeah.
The school that we used to go to.
Oh, bro.
Well, no, not Vincent, but myself and a couple of the other boys.
Nah, bro, I was on the side. Me and Casey would just do $2.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck? 10 years old and trying to make a living, man.
Oh, brother, we're hustling.
But speaking on school, man, Vinny, you used to bring the most gangsterous lunches.
Oh, bro.
I remember, that's one thing I always remember. And me and Charlie, one of our childhood friends, right? we to this day talk about like, bro, I wonder what Vincent's up to. You know what I mean? And we talk about, bro, remember when he had like so much like mean lunches all the time? Because some of us in school were unfortunate to even get a lunch. Yeah. So when Vinny used to come school and he used to have like pack like hot lunches from Pack and Save, or he had $20 to spend at the canteen. This guy was our best friend. Yeah, like, Vinny, come on, man, let's go.
Honestly, there was nothing but love, and I would just like, I would have like fried chicken, and the brother would be like, can I have some? I'm like, bro, come on, because I couldn't finish that despite being a big fella. I was like, bro, come on.
He had full course meals in his lunch bag, man. I kid you not.
Oh shucks! I remember that. It was like all the boys would come up and like, all good. Man, good memories.
Good days, man. Good days, for sure.
You could buy like a whole drum kit for like, what, $5?
Yeah.
That was so good, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I normally leave off with my guests with 2 questions.
Yep.
So the first one will be What sort of quote or something that's kept with you, like a saying that you've kept with you in your soul and your mind that you want to share with everyone, that would inspire them in life to do something great?
I think one thing that just popped to my head was an interview I did with Jaden Lang, which is a real good content creator in Australia, and he said, if you wanted to do something, you should have started yesterday. And that rung in my head once she asked that question to me. And it's so true, man, because if you're not doing it yesterday or the day before, then what makes you think you're going to do it tomorrow? Yeah. You know, just start right now in this very moment of pursuing the things that you want to pursue in life and just get shit done.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many, it's so loud up in here that you don't know where to go or what kind of advice or voices to listen to.
That's right. Yeah.
So, start now. Should have started yesterday.
No, absolutely. Cool. And that echoes on the fact that I was like watching your content and I was like, man, I should bring the brother in. And then I was like, I have him on Facebook, bro. Just message him. Just message him. I was like, sweet. He's the worst scenario is that he doesn't message you back or he says no. Yeah. So I just message you and you were like, hey, bro.
Do you know what you started off with?
No,
you were like,
I was started professional. My brain switches off, by the way. I start off with a very.
He did I don't know if you remember me, but I was like, what the heck? Of course I remember you. Silly boy.
Look. I started. So I have a thing. I have two modes. I have Vinny, and Vinny is like the most lovable. You can talk to him or whatever. But then I have the professional mode, and I don't remember half the things because I go, no offense, Dan, I go white person, and I go, hello, good evening. My name is such and such, and I represent Accelerating Ōtara.
Yeah, actually, I got an element to me as that. That's the same with me.
I scare my mates when I pull the white person voice. I go, oh, good evening. My name is, and they go, bro, you speak like this. Speak like this. I'm like, nah, man, that's my personal voice. If I could start off with, oh, hey, cuz, how you doing?
So you saw me on TikTok?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay.
So I started off with, so I was just like scrolling, 2 o'clock in the morning going, and then all I see is this guy with a beard going, what's your financial score? I was like, bro, I know the bro. Sweet. Just followed you, started looking through, and I'm like, man, I need him on my podcast. Yeah. And going back to what you said on your quote, I'm like, should have done it yesterday. But yeah, no, I saw your content and I thought it was awesome. You're doing like street stuff, and it's like, man, we need more honest content like that, honestly. With that said, my final question will be, plug yourself to the world and let everyone know where you are.
Yes, sir. So if you guys want to follow me or even hire me to help market your stuff and get your business out there, head to Word on the Street Official on all social media platforms, or Word on the Official 29@gmail.com if you want to do it professionally. All right? And then also, if you want to get a watch, matai.com.au, baby, you already know. I'm going to plug that in right here. If you want to go buy a watch, let's go. But
hold on. This is the $100. See, I got no money. See, solution. But thank you so much for coming in today.
My pleasure, brother.
Honestly, again, going back to, I'm gonna say my spiel and then we're gonna end it from there, which is I'm humbled to know that my friends are doing well. I consider my friends family, and when my family does well, I'm doing well at the same time. So thank you so much, my friend.
No worries, brother. No worries.
And then once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Hey. My brother.